From the possibility of a peace deal helmed by U.S. President Joe Biden on Tuesday to frantic attempts to save face just a day later, the geopolitical landscape in West Asia has been evolving rapidly. In a bid to defuse tensions, President Biden arrived in Tel Aviv, holding talks with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to offer his solidarity. But he is increasingly finding himself isolated in a region where Washington has been the predominant superpower for decades.
Americans are grieving with you. They really are. And Americans are worried. Americans are worried because we know this is not an easy field to navigate, what you have to do. But the fact is that Israel, as they respond to these attacks, it seems to me that have to continue to ensure that you have what you need to defend yourselves. And we're going to make sure that occurs, as you know. And we have to also bear in mind that Hamas does not represent all the Palestinian people. And it has brought them only suffering.
Hamas murdered children in front of their parents, and parents in front of their children. They burnt people alive. They raped and murdered women. They beheaded soldiers. They searched for the secret hiding places where parents hid their children. And just imagine, Mr. President, the fear and the panic of those little children in their last moments as the monsters found out their hiding places. Hamas kidnapped women, children, elderly, Holocaust survivors. I know you share our outrage on this, and I know you share our determination to bring these people back.
As the death toll continues to rise in Gaza following the attack on Al-Ali hospital, and with outrage spilling over to the streets, the Arabian bloc has gone into a huddle in the Saudi city of Jeddah. The Organization of Islamic Nations has convened an emergency meeting to discuss the situation in Palestine. The foreign minister of Iran, one of the most vocal critics of the Israeli state, landed in Saudi Arabia earlier today for the meeting. The OIC includes most members of the Arab bloc, including the ring of nations that surround Israel. The meeting assumes significance in the wake of an earlier meeting that was supposed to take place in Jordan's capital, Amman. As per the original plan announced on Tuesday by U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, the U.S. president was all set to hold talks with Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas, and Jordan's King Abdullah II. This meeting would have followed his Israel visit and was widely speculated to offer a healing touch to the war-torn region. But within hours of the attack on the Gaza hospital, the meeting was called off by Jordan. Just a fortnight ago, Saudi Arabia was in talks with Israel and the U.S. to sign a normalization deal. This in the backdrop of the historic Abraham Accords earlier that saw Arab nations like the UAE and Bahrain engage with Israel after years of friction. But now the battle lines are being redrawn, at least geopolitically. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.